Hey guys, this is 007. I'm over in One Hive Genesis now, so this is my brother's account in the Red Cloud clan. And today I was just also going to talk to you about Ethan. Again, he had a question about how to attack certain bases, so we're going to take a real quick first impressions of what we would do to attack some bases in war. So hang tight and we will take a look at that. Okay, so 5 and 6 are the two that he's going to be looking at attacking. The first thing you notice about 5 here is the Archer Queen is on the outside pretty significantly, and I would suggest to him dropping the Barb King on that Dark Barracks there. He'll probably clear that out and then either come over this way and then back over to the Spell Factory, or he may go to the Spell Factory first. It doesn't matter either way. He goes the BK, come here, and he'll walk into the Archer Queen's range. Now the Archer Queen is going to jump over this wall to try and get him, and once she targets him, he will lock onto her. You hit the King ability, takes out the Queen for just a King swap, so that's a really nice thing to be able to do, really cheap and efficient. And the other thing to say about this raid is I would suggest doing a Laloon. Because of that fact, the Queen is so easy to take out. It will allow you to take probably 4 Lava Hounds. He still has a CC that only fits 25 troop space, so he will not be able to take 5, which may be more beneficial. Anyway, that being said, there is the new added element of the Air Sweeper. We can see that it is facing towards the south from up in the north corner, so because of that, it's on level 1. It's really only going to push him back 1.6 tiles, as we see there. So not a huge deal, shouldn't really affect the raid too much, but still would be nice to take out, because balloons they're very slow. It could affect it later on. So I would suggest starting with the first Lava Hound drop from right there. Let's zoom out a little bit. So first Lava Hound coming in from that angle right there. And I would actually suggest dropping some of your loons out here, because all the trash buildings on the outside, they've extended the border to the maximum, so it's going to be more beneficial to drop your loons first, because they do travel much slower than the Lava Hound. So drop some loons over here, then drop the Hound. It's going to take the balloons a little bit to get there, travel space, travel time, and then the Hound will pass them up and start drawing all the fire and go it won't go to the Archer Tower. It'll go straight to the defense there. So that being said, pretty quickly you're going to want to drop your other Lava Hound on this side, the second one. And the other thing to note about this raid is all of the air defenses are level 5. So they're only going to be doing 190 damage to Ethan there. So his Lava Hounds can take, I don't know this off the top of my head, they're level 1. What can they take? Yeah, so they have 5,700 health as a level 1 Lava Hound, so that's going to take a significant amount of time for them to go down, and you do want them to pop later in the raid so that you have some cleanup troops, especially if you're depending on them to be your cleanup troop. So you want to get them in there early and have them take up some damage. So that in mind, I would actually go back on my previous statement and say it's probably fine to drop those Lava Hounds first, even though they're going to catch up. It's going to take the balloons a little bit of travel time to get there. You want them to take that damage so that they will pop. And okay, so Hound goes down right there. Second Hound right here. Just balloons targeted on the air defense behind. Probably 4 to 5 balloons on per Lava Hound drop. So I'd a couple loons that'll path to this Archer Tower, Once you get down the second lava hound right there, a couple loons back here to come in on this archer tower. And again, I would choose the clockwise, or excuse me, the counterclockwise motion on this base, just because of where we're starting. The next AD way down here, if you were to come clockwise, is just a ways to travel. You could that way. I wouldn't suggest it. So anyway, lava hound, loons, 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 loons. And now that I think about it, I would possibly suggest coming with your balloons all from this top left side, just so that none of them stray over into this area before we want them to. It should help direct them around, although some getting in here may eventually go over there. So all that being said, third round in there, followed by balloons for the archer tower, and yeah, that's pretty much on the bottom. You're gonna want to drop your rages up here once the hounds and balloons are in range. You actually don't want it quite right there. You're gonna want it covering the archer tower at least, just to speed things on their way. You're not sure where the Teslas are gonna be, but if they do pop, they will be in range of the ADs there, or of the lava hound should target them, and it will not be a problem. So rage up. Rage it up, rage it up, and I would just bring in the lava hounds like we were talking about from these angles here. You may not have all the DPS or the air mines or anything like that, but if you just drop your lava hounds in some kind of orderly fashion, follow them up with targeted balloons on the archer towers or whiz towers or whatever the case may be, you're going to have some success. So that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. It should be fine. Main thing in this raid, the key is dropping the Barb King there. Drop him early. Let him do a little work, clear out some of these, get in range of this archer queen here. Once she locks on and he loses a little bit of health, go ahead and hit the ability to go ahead and take her out. And it's a really cheap, easy king swap for the queen, which is great on a lava hound raid. So that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at this one here. Now, I was talking with some of the guys in One Hive, some of our Town Hall 9s. They're suggesting Go Valo, the Golem, Valks, and then looning up the outside once you take out the core in the middle here. And that would work great, except he has level 1 Valks, so I would steer away from that. And honestly, hogging this base, surge hogging is an option. I kind of prefer that. However, the queen, she is pretty centralized. You would possibly be able to do a go-ho on this. So let's see, air sweeper from that direction. You usually want to be able to take out a queen no matter what you're doing, and I would actually suggest I would suggest that. So I would suggest coming in from let's see about that whiz tower range. There have been some modifications to the wall breaker AI, so I tend to try and avoid coming in around wizard towers just because it's a little more difficult to get there because of the wall breakers now targeting weakened walls. If you drop a golem or something right here, it's going to obviously target that wall, weaken it a little bit, and then even if you drop your wall breakers over here, they're going to go straight for that weakened wall, which unfortunately the toad right there would probably fry him. So look at that. I would actually have him come in from the top more than likely with a golem here. You'll notice this near splash defense way over here. You will have to time it up a little bit with the mortar shots here. So once you see the mortars lock onto the golem, make sure they are not in range of the make sure they're not in range of the wall breakers. They will. I mean, they're gonna come in eventually. The wall breakers will. So I would just wait for these defenses here, your point defenses, to target the golem there. Wait until you see the mortars get up in the air and start to splash down. That would spawn your. You only need a couple wall breakers right there. They'll come straight to that weakened wall no matter where you drop them at, pretty much. But just be aware, mortars there, they could splash them and it might ruin your raid. So I would avoid doing that if possible. Then we would go ahead, once we've broken through this wall right here, our golem will go in and drop a nice jump spell right there to let them all the way into the core. The queen right here, she will not actually target them for a little bit, but the jump spell acts as a redirect. I'll sketch a little more. So golem comes in, wall breakers. There's probably two. It's fine. I don't recall his wall breaker levels, but they're great balls, so it shouldn't be too difficult. Go there. Your mortars will lock on there eventually. So if you do drop a couple whiz on the outside, they're going to go ahead and clean up some of the trash for you. You could even do it with minions if you want to, as long as that archer tower here is locked on to your golem. You're not going to have to worry about basically anything targeting it, because this wizard tower and this one here, they have very limited range. You could probably get them for minions for basically free, but the wizards do a little bit more damage, and they stick around a little bit longer in the raid. So I would go with maybe 6 whiz over on the side there just to clear out some trash. Once they've taken out this trash right here, you've broken through here, golems coming in on this, possibly Teslas there. I would think they're in the core, they may not be. But then you go ahead and drop your royals up here at the top. They come to the wizard tower like so. And you've got your jump spell down, obviously, right there. Heroes, going to go ahead and go in right here. And then you would go ahead and lock onto the queen, lock onto the king, pop any potential bombs in the middle there. Once your heroes take out probably the 3 defenses, they more than likely will jump in the middle. If not, you might be a little bit SOL, but that's a risk you take sometimes. Trying to path these guys into the middle. They're not the brightest, but it should still work. The jump spell does act as a redirect, and then if the golem gets poked at by the queen a little bit, that'll just serve to aggro them into the middle along with the jump spell. So the benefit of doing a go-ho in this manner is you will eliminate bomb spots here, all these little ones in the middle here. So that's a pretty nice trade. You've eliminated more than a few, and you've taken out the queen. So just for the price of 6 whiz, a golem, and your heroes, you're gonna get a pretty good return on investment there. Other thing to note is that the queen, once down, I'm sorry, I don't know where I was going with that. So you've eliminated quite a few potential bomb spots there, and the remaining ones after you take out this stuff in the middle here, and the queen, are going to be single bomb spots. So let's go ahead and sketch those real quick. You've eliminated these here. You're going to still have a single bomb spot here, and here. So all that being said, you probably will need to have a couple heals. Um, I would suggest more of a surgical type deployment, but before we get to that, um, I would probably bring yeah. So other thing to mention I'd forgotten about is the clan castle is going to be targeting your heroes and all this stuff at this time. Your queen can do a lot of work, and she can take out quite a few of those units for you along with the king. That is asking her to do quite a bit though, so I would probably uh, bring a lightning for DC. I haven't noticed what these guys have had in their clan castles, but more than likely it's soft stuff, archers and wizards and things of that nature. So I would go ahead and bring a lightning. They're going to bunch up on your stuff around this point or so, and then you just pop the lightning down on them and kill them. So your queen will clean up the rest and shouldn't have any trouble. So at this point, we have eliminated basically this part of the bay right here, and that gives us time to drop our hogs in. So I would suggest targeting point defense, roughly 3 hogs. Ethan does have the max hogs, so I would suggest using them and dropping about 3 in on each point defense. You may want to drop a few extra, like 4 or so, on the cannon down here bottom, as well as a couple on the archer tower there. And as long as you bring enough hogs, you're gonna wreck this base because you've already eliminated all. Well, the one single double giant bomb spot in the middle is completely gone, and you've eliminated the queen. So you shouldn't have much trouble. You've eliminated these 3 point defense with the go-ho part of your attack, and it should be smooth sailing from there. So I honestly I didn't script this at all. I don't recall what I've spoken about. The one thing I would feel the most sketchy about, I guess I would say, the CC lure on this one. On number 5, we didn't really need to worry about it so much because your lava hounds, when they bust, will be going ahead and cleaning up most of the CC troops. You could go ahead and lure if you wanted to. If so, I would probably. Looks like if you drop a giant here or here, they should be pulling the CC out. I'd probably drop a couple giants just to be sure after you kill the queen on that side. Just because the king's on that side. So I would drop a couple giants over here after you've taken out the archer queen with your king in the corner, like we talked about, and they should draw whatever's out of that CC. You take them to a corner and kill them. I don't really think there should be a preference on which corner you kill them since you're starting at the top. Maybe it'd be nice to pull them to the top and kill them up there. Really doesn't matter too much though. And on a base like this, you could probably get away with not raging one of your lava hounds and bring a lightning for the CC. Have them climb on a lava hound and just pop a lightning on them, like we talked about in the previous video. It just kind of depends on what spell composition you want to bring. If you want to invest the spell killing the CC. And possibly having to have pups clean up the mess that may be left by that, or if you want to lure, which it's a fairly easy lure. I would always tend to lure when it's that simple. This one, however, you could do the same thing, and honestly, it's pretty tempting. Drop a couple giants there, and draw the CC out, and pull into this army camp and just kill them with probably 2 witches and a barb in this CC. That's my favorite comp. You just you pop down the CC in the corner, and then you have, I usually put like 3 supporting wizards, and that'll take out basically anything that comes out of the CC. So backtracking a little bit there, and just suggesting to pop the CC with a couple giants should do it again. Only 2-point defense in that area over there. So that is pretty much all I can recall and all I can think of at this. If there are any questions, Ethan or anyone who happens to watch the video, go ahead and shoot me a comment or request, or get a hold of me, and I'll do my best to answer you or run it by the guys at One Hive Genesis, our Town Hall Knights. They are very good attackers and give great advice. So this is 007 from One Hive Genesis, signing off from Red Cloud as Wraith. So have a good one, guys, and I will talk to you later.